Catherine ults and play around what I thought was going to be a high-pressure situation. So I have to go with Kinetik.
Makes sense. I'm going to go with Cloud9. I think Joseph's going to land some impales and cut through these squishies.
All right, let's find out as we head on to Halcyon Fold for Kinetik versus Cloud9. Game 2, we've got Jingy and Full Court Jester.
Game 2 is going to be a very important matchup because this is where Cloud9 need to put a point on the board. Well, they're going to be exiting this scene on this last of weeks for the split here, Xingyi. But Kinetik, really good stuff out of them. We'll have to see if the squishy comp will work out. I suspect we're going to see a Frostburn Sky first.
I suspect. Well, actually, I'm not sure about that because Gabe Bizzle and I Love Joseph are so slow already. I don't know if she needs the Frostburn to stay in there, but upon the original...
Could have survived with a Frostburn. Just saying. Well, maybe not. Mixi at this point, she's going to get some pot shots off, but the roam execution is actually really good here. Between Gabe Bizzle and I Love Joseph, I mean, we don't really get to see Joseph on Lance a lot. They're definitely more known for things like his Taka, his Kestrel, I even want to say, Black Feather out there as well. But with the Lance, again, it's been a really good split for Lance. Like, he kind of debuted really terribly with numbers. You remember back in summer, even before that? And,
the one in Europe?
Spring? Yeah, but this split has been really good for his numbers. And Gabe Bizzle, he's going to be taking a lot of those shots, but Joseph not going to re-engage.
Yeah, Hardex should have to be a little bit careful because Mixi and Cloud9 are there. So we're seeing Cloud9 playing two of the pivotal heroes that Kinetik played in the first game against them, and I'm wondering if they're going to win or lose against this, how they're going to play this comp. Because last time I think it really came down to upon the original's Lance and how well he was able to land those Githian walls and those impales because he was pretty on point with it all. And I'm wondering if I Love Joseph will have the same success when it comes down to him.
Mixi has no idea. He's going to get hit, looking for the flight company, but the route's just a little bit too long that it was held. So now Cloud9 not going to find the kill on top of Mixi, and they're going to have to make an exit here. Joseph did get the Treant, though, so that's to their credit. We got that flare out. Not going to be walking into it twice in a row here from Kinetik, and that will be now Mixi picking up his own Treant there as well. Joseph will poke down Coldamik a little bit, but that should be pretty much it for the aggression. While the original's going to come back here to lane, he has to farm up as best he can. Does have the double crystal bit. Still could see that crystal dream. It's not double weapon, though, as we still have yet to find a kill for the double weapon. Or a win, I should say.
Well, I think double weapon's quite easy to itemize against. And I just feel like double crystal might be better, or better yet, just go weapon and crystal, make it hard for your enemy team to itemize against it. And that's just it for me.
Well, we're going to split both ways on both sides. You can see Joseph picking up that weapon, and Hardik, he's going to be looking for an alternating current as quick as he can. But that was actually Mixi, and off into the opponent's jungle. He did clean it all up. Joseph is just, again, kind of just trying to set up camp here in the other side of the fold. But Coldamik, he's going to see this one coming. Cloud9, they got some rotations going, but I don't think there's going to be kills. Just a little bit of contention on farm. Doesn't matter. It's Mixi to pick it up.
Well, it's just not as successful as the last game when, Pond Original was really strong against it. He was able to deny them farm. I Love Joseph, he's lagging behind Mixi there. So he's 12 to 28. Mixi we're seeing doing a pretty good successful job of just going solo jungling and denying farm away from I Love Joseph every single time. But maybe with that scout trap there, he won't have as much luck because they're going to be seeing him coming. But right now, that's a bit of an issue that you don't want to snowball into a bigger one.
Right, yeah. If you can stop a snowball out now, it's definitely the best of times to do it. Yeah, establishing early tempo hasn't always led into a great late game, but having some of these scaling comps, you could definitely, if you can weather the storm, it can definitely pay out. So for now, Kinetik, they're all staying together, they're all giving each other bonus gold, and it's all up to Cloud9 to continue pushing on. They're leaving their Joseph in the jungle by himself. That's going to be good for leveling. You can see him now level 5, just pushing up as quick as he can into the 6, but it's actually not entirely working yet. Mixi's, I think, still pretty much par with that experience.
Mixi's, they're pretty close. I think I Love Joseph is a little bit ahead of getting to that level 6 before him, even though he's been able to just take that many more minions away.
23 to the 38, but a lot of that is, again, shared out here with his team. So Pawn, actually not that far up 6 himself. Hardek is going to be struggling a little bit here in that race. Joseph, he will get the farm, It was a nice attempt there from Mixi. Hits the boots immediately. Cole the Meek is going to be here with the team, but not any level 6s yet. Ooh, that could actually be a big opportunity. We have the Impale and the Githian, and that's enough for the last shot there from Adagio for the second kill of the game. We're up 2-0 here for Cloud9.
That was a great start. There was a really nice impale, and I think this is what's the beauty of this Lance Finn combination, is that if you're able to land the impale, you get Finn being able to use his quiver there, and you get a nice chain. We're not going to get this chain stuns until he gets to that level 8, but Hardik gives Hardik the perfect chance to use his Agent of Wrath and just deal the damage out to Mixi. He did that very perfectly in that last fight, picking up the kill there onto Mixi. I feel that the Cloud9 comp, though, it will take a little bit while to ramp up, and we saw that in their last game. I think we won't be expecting them to do extremely well until about 10-15 minutes when they start getting the items, especially when Alex Joseph gets the Sword Blades.
Mixer's holding lane, but it's a 1-on-3 endeavor. He has actually cleaned out the minions, and now Cloud9, they're going to be looking for a retreat. Yeah, Pawn, he's going to have to reposition, but a great re-strike. Lots of damage from the death from above there as well. It all comes across very cleanly here on Cloud9.
What?
It's going to be a burst and a one-shot to go out. Cole, you going to throw that gauntlet? Are we going to see a hook? I mean, you might as well just make it all official here for the team fight. The hook is good. Pawn is going to be the target. He's going to be down. We have no Kestro here in lane, so Cole, he's going to make an exit. The turret is down. 3 kills to Cloud9. Their early game is working out well. Almost 1,000 gold to their name. You can see Joseph, he's not done yet. He's looking for the stun, the Githian there on top of Mixi, but Joseph has taken so many shots to the face. We have the gauntlet now out now. Joseph is going to be running. He has some shield from Gabe, the fortified health doing work, and Mixi just couldn't seal the deal. Cole the Meek still might actually drop. Cole Hardik actually can't even seem to find that one. Mixi will survive at least for now as well, but here comes Joseph. He has the roll. That's going to be a shot in the back, and now Hardik, is he going to drop? We got Cole and that uppercut. He gets it. Pawn is now looking for blood from that hook from Gabe. But he's got the Suri strike. Joseph, did he actually eat a potion? Nope, it's not going to be quite there yet. We still have this lock on, but Pawn is giving up the chase.
So close there, and I think that was a very good example of how difficult it could be to land an impale there onto Pawn, or sorry, onto a Sky there. He's got a Suri strike. And, well, that's a Frostburn. You're right, Forecourt.
Dun, dun, dun. I actually had it for both fights, but it didn't matter with that hook going in. Pawn, yeah, he went down quick. Mixi did have enough cash in the bank for the Sora Blade, but after he got back home, that's when he was able to pick it up. So it wasn't part of that fight. At least I'm pretty sure it wasn't part of that fight. 90% sure on that one. But either way, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. Now, if they go for a fight, you know, a lot of those tier 3s are now done. Joseph getting some damage here on top of Mixi. Cole's going to hit the boots. Just put up a big front, but Cloud9, they're really just now looking to turn their attention on top of Pawn. If he gets rooted or hooked, that's going to be a very dead Sky, but he is going to have the retreat. They're covered by Cole, and it will be Cloud9 taking control of the mid of the fold, and that leaves him with a stacked gold mine.
I think this is a good time for Cloud9 to be picking fights. Partly the reason is because neither Pawn the original or Mixi have that reflex block, so they're guaranteed that if Gabe Vizsla can land those hooks, they're going to be able to pull one member in each time. And the one time they did it so far, they pulled Mixi in and he went down so fast because they chained it up with an impale from Isle of Joseph. And if they can do that again, if they... Nope, it misses.
See, with the hook on one side, I expected the impale to kind of mirror it on the other, and that way there's no real good place for Pawn to sit, but there was no impale. I don't think we really had the positioning from Joseph to make it happen either, so... Alright, hook is down, 50 seconds. They will get this treant, however, so Cloud9, again, just more or less controlling the mid points. They are going to be keeping vision here in the mid, and they can pretty much see most of Kinetik here up in lane anyways. Cole's going to be throwing out that flare. They are going to come up empty for Cloud9, but we're just biding time here. Cloud9 getting items, looking for 2. There it is, Hardik. He's sitting now on not only the alternating, but the broken mid. On the original, not quite the same luck yet.
Pawn the original is lacking in defense, I feel.
He's all blue.
He's definitely all blue, apart from those boots that stand out like a sore thumb. I think you could say the same for Mixi as well. I feel like defense at this point, especially when there's so much lockdown with Gabe Vizsla and Isle of Joseph there, it's probably a good idea to just get one reflex block, because if you can block either the impale or the quiver, you can reposition yourself to avoid the follow-up. And also you've got this block for the Force Accord that Gabe Vizsla has now. He's missed, it's been about 50-50 with the hits or misses so far. but once he gets to that late game, he's going to have up fairly frequently that they need a reflex block.
Yeah, Cole just sitting on the Crucible, that's the only thing that really keeps his team from those hooks, from some of those lockdowns. And Cole basically just has to keep a finger on it every time he sees Gabe at this point. Past that, I wouldn't use it on the Impale unless it's going to be life or death, because then you got a free hook coming your way. So you do bring up a good point here, Xingyi. We got some polite company. Pawn, not going to get followed up there with that anchor. But not going to allow Cloud9 to push in as easily as they might want. The clear between Pawn and Mixi is actually going to be keeping Cloud9 from going too deep on the turret.
Oh, the gauntlet goes down.
Yeah, we had a one-shot go out. The gauntlet is there as well, but not really any kind of big follow-up. It's instead Gabe biding his time, staying there in the front, and just daring Kinetik to come at them. No Crucible as of yet used. Cole couldn't actually stomp out that hook, and now Cole's likely to drop. There's the Crucible use, but he's on a scout trap. They got the vision. That'll make it 2-0. Pawn, the only one to survive from Kinetik, and I'm not entirely too sure if the calls were jumbled, if there's a miscommunication. 2 ults used, but nothing really kind of followed it up, and in fact, it will be Cloud9 with the 2 kills.
Well, the problem was the Force Accord wasn't blocked, so they had a great engagement with, well, maybe not even great engagement with the Gauntlet, because they caught most of the members of Cloud9 in it, and the whole point of the Gauntlet is to isolate one member. They didn't do that, and oh, hard X.
2v1, he had really no chance. The Surrey Strike from Pawn sealed that one.
Yes, as I was saying, they need to put a block Gabe fizzles, and as of yet, even after that, Mixi sitting, well, not on quite enough gold to get the reflex, but upon the original definitely is, and I think he's just holding on to that. Oh, Gabe, don't know if he's going to make this out.
Oh, you know, he'll be fine. There's no dive from Kinetik, at least not yet. I was really curious if they would, but not really any kind of massive amount of armor built up here from Cole. He would have gotten eaten alive there by the turret.
No, they saved the turret. It doesn't even take that much damage.
Gabe has light spring. He's totally fine.
He's good. He's sitting on that. Upon the original, he's just picked up the broken myth there, but still no defense.
No defense, yeah. Still all blue. A lot of tier 1s and 2s just kind of permeating through. He's actually held on to an hourglass since the first buy, and he's been just using that little bit of cooldown reduction as often as he can. Cole's going to have a flare. You do notice that Gabe's going to be coming here, but it is going to be Mixi to pick up the Treant. Joseph is here. He throws out the hook. Could have been a game-defining moment right there, but it will not be. Cloud9 still more or less maintaining mid. They do have some scout traps down here as well, so once Kraken does come through in about 2 minutes or so, we might still be in a really good spot for Cloud9 to take game 2.
I think so. I think if they do it, they leave themselves in a 1-1 position, and what makes this game so important is I think both of the teams have a chance at Worlds if they manage to win the weekend, if I'm correct.
Well, Team Solo Mid ends up at 13 points. That's number 2 spot, right? And they don't really count when it comes to the counting of it. It's Gangstar sitting at 14 right now. That's the key. Gangstars is 14. Cloud9 is at 12 after, if they can win this one, they're at 12. If they can't, they are done. But Kinetik's at 7. I don't know if Kinetik can actually catch up to Gangstars by the end of all things. That's 7 points. Well, 8 points because they're up 1-0. Sorry, 6 points. 6 points if they can do it, yeah.
Cloud9 has a chance, and if Kinetik can deny it away from them, then it's looking good for Gangstars.
If Gangstars win nothing else and Kinetik go 2-0 from here on out, I mean, I guess there could be that tiebreaker. I don't have the tiebreaker rules in front of me, though. This is where we need tasty bacon. But overall, it's very important, right? There's a lot of chances here. Cloud9, very important that they do get this, and Meek with that gauntlet. They are going to get it blocked out. Gabe is going to be down low. The gauntlet does actually force out the reflex blocks, but there's nothing really else for Kinetik to throw at these guys, so they're going to make their exit. We got that Kraken coming up here, 30 seconds, and we're looking for those 3-item spikes. Pawn has his. Heartache might actually have the cash, depending on what he wants at that last one, but I think he's actually still a bit shy. We do have the monocle there. Mixi, he's sitting on his 2, maybe looking for that breaking point by the end of things. Maybe he'll go double monocle. Either way, we are starting to get to a tipping point in this game.
We are, and I think what's happening in a lot of these team fights is they're focusing on Gabe Bizzle, and I understand that Gabe Bizzle is trying to body block for Hardock and I Love Joseph, and because he's doing that, because of the immense damage coming from Mixi and Pawn the original, we're seeing him going for very typical Romy builds. He's got the Aegis, he's got the Metal Jacket. This is not something that we normally expect to see. And part of the reason is he is just eating up so much damage. You can see him doing it right now, and that actually at times he eats up so much damage that it's actually they can't capitalize on any good potential engagements, and they just have to back away because they need Gabe Bizzle alive. And
lots of infusions coming out. We have an infusion there for Hardik in his inventory as well. But Joseph, his level 12, he just popped his. So overall, 5 out of 6. Gabe, yep, 6 out of 6. These teams know how important this next fight's going to be. And we're going to have to see if McShee and Krub can actually do this one. A lot of Metal Jackets on Roams. The hook blocked out. Koldameek had his finger ready on the button on that one. And now Gabe, he's going to be that front line. He does have quite a bit of armor, as you did mention. McShee can't really do much, but the root going forward, that's going to keep McShee on the run. On the original, trying to cover that with that Frostburn. And his 2 more items, the Surrey Strike. I love Joseph just trying to get in front of this one. Everybody from Cloud9 down half or more. Upon the original is looking sterling, but I don't think we're seeing aggression from either side anymore.
We're not seeing any aggression. I think Kinetik were very, very aggressive at the start. They were really picking a lot of engagements. Oh, Hardik! Oh no!
He stayed. The rest of the team didn't. Surrey Strike of Legends just going to be trying to keep Hardik down, but the Death from above, they are still actually in a spot to get the kill, and they will. But Hibikshi, though, he's going to get pulled right in. Koldameek is there as well. Cloud9 has come with the Cavalry, and Koldameek is going to be paying the price. It will be a 2-1 trade to Cloud9. And it's up to Upon the Original to stop out the Cloud9 Kraken attempt.
They turned it around. They turned a very bad situation to a quite a good one, actually. They still have Sky left alive, and she's actually a major threat while they're taking the Kraken, because I feel like she has the potential to take this, and they don't actually have that much damage. They don't have the burst to take it down as fast as they can, and this is going to be a very, very tense moment now with Pawn here.
Joseph immediately upon seeing Pawn rolls forward and just wants to try to get that positioning. A root could do some massive damage, but it does have the option of getting blocked out here. Pawn just putting forward that foot is going to stop Kraken overall. So the rest of the team now has to kind of play catch up here. You already see McShee into the jungle. He's going to be in position if there is anything else here with the Kraken, but all 3 of Cloud9 getting together here as well. Every cooldown except that verse is ready to roll. We got hooks, we got rolls, we got one-shots and gauntlets. Death from above could also be pretty critical here as well.
A root could do so much right now because neither McShee or Upon the Original has any armor, so it would do so much, and it's such a close game right now. It is very close, and you can definitely sense this from both of the teams that they're very tentative to actually go for an engagement. And I think it really does hinge on one of the forced accords, because if they're able to escape, there's not really much they can do to gap close there. Because I Love Joseph has the ability to try and close the gap there. Unfortunately, there's no way for Hardik to catch up.
3 items on both of these crystal carries. Looking for Joseph's second Zoro. He's going to get it right here. Yeah, he does have the money. He has the infusion as well, so he just powered up a good bit on top of things. McShee still on that 2 items, still looking for that breaking point, but we've had to go into defense on quite a few members here of the game. Cloud9 throwing out the hook, but it is going to get stopped out. Koldameek says no. We got some damage now coming in, though. Forward barrage, the Frostburn doing work. Surrey Strike for the reposition. Pawn will block out the stun, and that's going to be the gauntlet going down with the Death from above as well, but nobody caught in it. The blocks are good enough. Cloud9 repositioned back under the turret. There's 1 turret between both sides that is down, Jingyi, and Cloud9 really just using this bastion of safety to deter the advances of Kinetik, but it's not going to work. McShee has the damage. We got the poke from Pawn. It's done and dusted. This is now, again, Cloud9 on the retreat. Some pot shots from McShee. The 1 shot will not hit, and Kinetik have taken a lot of control here.
They're doing really well in being able to force Kinetik back, and that's part of the poke coming out from there. You really don't have it with Gabe Bizzle and I Love Joseph. They have to rely on Hardik, and it's just not enough compared to McShee and Pawn Original. It's a very, very tense moment right now for both of these teams, and what they need to rely on is that Impale Quibble combination, with that Impale ideally landing on at least 1 of Kinetik. We're not seeing that. I don't think I Love Joseph. He's had a good lance so far, but it's just not been as outstanding as Pawn Original's lance was in the last game. And I think the same can be said for Gabe Bizzle, and that many of his hooks are being blocked out. And I'm not sure if that just comes down to Koldameek being very good with his crucibles, or them being very well projected, so it is easy to block them.
Okay, Hook, another attempt there from Gabe, but he has 3 points in it. But Crucible, that's going to be done.
that's it.
He does get caught out. We have the Gauntlet of Death from above, but Cloud9 tank it all and say, all right, we'll take that trade. Nobody down yet from Cloud9. Pawn in a very bad spot. Suri Strike is going to be good enough, at least until the root comes through. I Love Joseph and the Impale to take a 2-0 exchange. The Meek will not get caught, but Cloud9 can really start up a crack in this time.
Yeah, I think they can. I think they've got a good chance of taking it without any contest from Arden. I feel like they do need Hardek to help out there. And with 14 seconds left in the clock with Mixi, I don't think there's any fear for one kill.
Mixi just bought that reflex block at the 20-minute mark. Would have been very important that he had it in the last fight. So your point about the defense really coming through there, Xingyi at the end. Cold Meek only has one Crucible and he has to use it on those hooks. And well, it doesn't even matter about the second because Mixi was dead in the water by then. I was really curious to see if we were going to see just straight 4-item here from Pawn. He had a lot of cash and he's still on that Aegis in the tier 2 boots, but will he go into like a clockwork for 4th item?
He could be. He could also be going for the Halcyon Chargers. There's a lot left open on the table right now. And Mixi's just taking so much damage.
And Mixi's going to have to be in the back. Another root Pawn. He was on the front line. The gauntlet, it just gets ignored. Hero is down. Pawn, 50 seconds to think about it. And Mixi will join him there as well. The double kill is good. Joseph now looking for a triple. Does he have the Impale? It will root up. The turret is down. The Kraken is coming. And the triple kill will go the way of Joseph. He'll tank out the turret. Ace buff not to be applied, but with nobody standing left to defend, Cloud9 and a very healthy Kraken are going to take game number 2.
Yes, they could. And once Hardek can heal I Love Joseph, and I think they could, if they focus on both of the turrets right now, maybe not focus on one turret, but oh, there goes the Verse of Judgment. But if they do this, I think this game could be theirs. Oh, this is so close right now that Pawn and Mixi are out.
Pawn and Mixture are here, but everybody from Cloud9 are alive. Joseph has double sword, remember. Even if everything else dies, but Joseph lives, he can win the game right here and now, and it won't even be another kill to be had. Kinetik with only 3 kills here in game number 2. Just too squishy. By the end of it all, not enough defense. Like you were saying, Xingyi, and the roots were clutch. Joseph